Hi, welcome back to Kiss the Chef, another episode full of fun, joy, and you learn something about cooking. So today we're planning to do a traditional braised lamb roast. This can be substituted also with any beef or whatever you prefer. It's a good little skill to do something for the family, to impress some guests that are coming over, and you can show off a little bit with a very traditional and classy dish. So for this one, we will start first with our vegetable that we would need for setting on the roast. So we have some carrots. We don't need to peel this one, you can use it straight as it are, it doesn't matter. If you prefer, because you're somehow scared, it's not a problem, you can peel it as well. But this one obviously is with skin on. Everything is washed before, so you don't need to worry about any soil or whatever animals in there. So then we have a carrot, you just chop them roughly up. We will put them in a bowl on the side. Then we will have some celery. If you're allergic to celery, it's no problem, you can just skip this step and you can use a little bit more onion or the leek that we will use later on. You will just the same thing, you don't need to do much with it. You roughly chop it up. You can put it together here in the same bowl with the carrot because that will all go together. Then we have some leek. However, if you're not being able to get some leek, spring onion will do the trick. Ideally here, you just take the bottom part, you chop off here a little bit of the white parts, and you can also take from the top. This will just give a little bit more color later for the dish on the rest. This one also will go straight in the same bowl. Then, most important thing for everything that gives flavor, as you know, in cooking, and people love their onions. So we will also chop up half an onion. It's the same procedure. You basically don't need to have much skill for this one. It's as rough as it gets. If it doesn't look pretty, it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to look pretty if it tastes good. So this is definitely one rule that you always should remember. This one we will put on the side here as well. Then we will take 2 of the garlic cloves. However, since you know I love a little bit of violence while cooking, so we will just like smack these down, both of them. You have it like here, roughly like this. You can put it together with the onions. So this is the first step. I will put this here on the side since we will use that in a bit. So now the meat. So here we're using some nice lamb black. This is a little bit pre-cut already to take the trimmings off to save you guys some time. So this one you can use beef, you can use whatever part you want. Ideally it should not be a lean part, should be a little bit fat because it helps you for the roast to keep moist and to get the texture you want. So for this one, obviously, since it has a different shape, we will bring it in shape. So we will take some of our cord here that we have. That's a regular kitchen twine. You will get that pretty much in all grocery stores that have something with meat. Maybe also your local butcher where you get your meat from can supply you with some of these. You will basically just wrap it around here. This is a bit tricky. If you do this the first time, it will definitely not look as pretty as this one will. But however, any chance to tie it up, it doesn't need to look pretty because you will take it off later anyway. So we moving this around here, you tighten it up. As tighter you get, as easier the shape will be later on, and it will not move that much. We will not cooking here now today the whole piece, so I will, after that part, I will just cut half of it off, which we'll use for later, and we'll cook some other dish with it. Then here, ideally, you make sure you go with your twine once around and tie it at the end. This is not a definitely necessary step. If you think this is too complicated, you don't get twine, or you have no clue what you're doing and you don't want to hurt yourself, no problem, just keep it off. It will not look as shaped and pretty later as it is, but it will do the trick. So next part is, you need a pot, ideally a bigger one with an option of a lid. You will fire up the whole thing on a very high heat. We will take some vegetable oil. You can use whatever oil you want. Extra virgin olive oil, that's not a problem. You basically don't need too much of it. But what you need is an oil that has a high smoke point, so it will not get bitter when you're roasting your vegetables in this. So this part you will start with the vegetables in this order, but first of all we will put in the meat a little bit. But we forgot something, didn't we? How about some seasoning? So obviously we have some pepper here, which we will do from both sides. Just a bit, not too much. The rest will come later anyway, because else your sauce maybe gets too too salty and too spicy. Putting this over here, and then this one will go ideally with the fat part in the pan first. So you can hear this one gives a nice little sizzle on that one. So here you just have to wait a little bit. This process takes time. The whole dish will usually be something about 2 to 3 hours, because you will slow braise the whole thing. It gets a nice flavor, it gets nice, tender, soft. It's definitely well done, so for any dietary restrictions it's pretty much a very good dish. Putting up a little bit heat more here for this one. So then after this one here, you will open your tweezers if it works. You just sear this one here off from all the sides. It should have a little bit of caramelization on the top for the fat part. You basically just swirl it around in the oil a little bit, turn it once left, turn it once right. It's like crossing the street, just with less hassle on it. So after this one, you can put that here on the side. So you can see there's a slightly caramelization on it. Then you will take your veggies, you put them also all in the pot there, all at once for this part. Stir the whole thing a little bit up. This you can do as much as you want, depending how smoky, how rough you want to have the flavor of your sauce. Don't just make the quick one. There should be some color definitely on the vegetable. So you put these vegetables first. 2-3 minutes later, you can definitely then use your garlic and the onions, because if you put them in too long, they're getting too dark and the whole thing will not be having the same result as it should. As you see, there's some nice colors here inside. It looks good, it will taste good, it gives a lot of flavor in your sauce later on. So therefore, while this one is cooking, I will tell you a little bit more about the next step. So while this one is roasting here, so I have here this red magic with some tomato paste. This is a crucial part also to give the sauce the color. However, if you think all the thing is too complicated and you want to go to your magic powder that you maybe have at home in your closet, feel free, you can use this, and then you just use water, your magic powder, and you sell everyone. This is like you're the best chef in town. No problem, feel free, everyone is himself, right? So next ones we will then use later on a little bit of flour. You can also use cornstarch if you have some gluten allergy or whatever to avoid this part. And we will have some nice red grape to finish the whole thing off. If you would like to use the white one, that's also fine, but obviously color, flavor and the pairing together with the lamb is definitely better on the red one. So since this here has now some color on it, that's already okay. We will take a spoon, you take your tomato paste and drop it in the thing. That's a drop, not mic drop, but a tomato drop. So that's alright. You stir this one up till basically the tomato paste is shortly before getting black. No worries, this is just giving flavor. You will not get anything bad from that. It also doesn't make it bitter. So this one basically be stirred. At this point already, if you want, you can add the lamb, but I would wait a little bit because it gets really difficult to stir in it. If you don't believe me, try it at home and you will see. I know what I'm talking about. So you will stir that up, give the whole thing some nice caramelization on it. Then I prefer always to directly put at this point a little bit of flour. You don't need that much, but it helps you later on that the whole thing will not be too liquid. Just stir this roughly in. Then you will add your magic lamb, goes in the pot, and then you will have your grape after this one. You deglaze the whole thing. With that one, you can add some water. If you need a lot more sauce, you can basically fill it up till maximum half of it. It should not be fully covered because you want to braise it. You don't want to boil the soup. This one you can put in here. Then obviously you put the lid on top. This will take a while. So that part there. While you're waiting for this, you can clean up your kitchen. You can do the laundry, do whatever you want, but maybe have a look on it before you burn down your house. And that's it so far. So I will see you back in a few seconds when we actually check when it's done. So now here I'm back again for this one. I just did a quick 5K run. That's not a problem. I had somebody of my neighbors watching the pot, so the house is not burning down, so no worries about this one here, definitely. So now let's take a look. Oh, what a magic. Already the meat looks amazingly cooked. So you basically, for your sauce, you can keep the veggies and use it as a side dish. You can take them out, you reduce your sauce, make it as thick as you want, season a little bit, salt, pepper, whatever you like, or you throw it and you eat it raw. That's absolutely up to you. So then we will put this here. Look how amazing that is. Magic part you need to do here, you take the twine off with your knife. If you put it, if you were too lazy, or then you can skip this part. So you will have this one here, which you don't need, so we throw that on the side, or some little onion sneaking out, you put that away, and then you literally just cut it in nice slices, as this one's. It's an amazing roast. You see, it's not dry, it's juicy, and that's the perfect thing. I will going to plate this one. So the slices we have, I will basically just slice through 3 pieces up, which we will put in here to then add the sauce, putting this on the side on the other way. So the sauce, since you guys obviously, like always, you don't have time, I finished this little part up a bit and made a different part. So this one will put on the top, putting in the sauce here on the side, which you unfortunately cannot see, but this is how fast it goes. So here is a little preparation that we have. Beautiful roast, nice thick gravy, amazing dish. So now we will plate this as well. Let me get a small plate here from the back. So here we have the plate for the whole thing. So now I am taking the fancy kitchen tweezers because it's a bit easier to get it out. Putting this on the side. Doesn't work always as good as it should be. So here in this case, we would have 3 nice slices of that, and putting on top some of the gravy. And there you would have your lamb roast. However, since you're wondering is now what is going on, I'm not just eating some meat, it's not a problem. In my back kitchen, I can use this. I will run away from the thing, even if it's not allowed on the show, so it doesn't matter, but I prepared you something just for the sake of having it here. So here we're doing some nice red cabbage, which you need to join another time to know how we will cook these ones. And we're having here some nice bread dumplings, which you can serve with it together. At the end, make some nice garnish with a little tree. You can also use 2 or 3 trees, and voila. So let's try this. Since after my 5K run in between, I'm actually quite hungry, so I need to try this amazing dish. Let's see. Oh, it looks beautiful. And it tastes amazing.